Quickness is the essence of the war. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. When one treats people with benevolence, justice, and righteousness, and reposes confidence in them, the army will be united in mind, and all will be happy to serve their leaders. There is no instance of a country having benefited from prolonged warfare. The art of war is of vital importance to the state. It is a matter of life and death, a road either to safety or to ruin. Hence, it is a subject of inquiry which can on no account be neglected. When you surround an army, leave an outlet free. Do not press a desperate foe too hard. Move swift as the wind and closely formed as the wood. Attack like the fire and be still as the mountain. To fight and conquer in all our battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Every battle is won before it's ever fought. Supreme excellence consists of breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. One mark of a great soldier is that he fight on his own terms or fights not at all. The wise warrior avoids the battle. The art of war teaches us to rely not on the likelihood of the enemy's not coming, but on our own readiness to receive him. Not on the chance of his not attacking, but rather on the fact that we have made our position unassailable. Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. Who wishes to fight must first count the cost. One may know how to conquer without being able to do it. Great results can be achieved with small forces. Who does not know the evils of war cannot appreciate its benefits. The worst calamities that befall an army arise from hesitation. When your army has crossed the border, you should burn your boats and bridges in order to make it clear to everybody that you have no hankering after home. If soldiers are punished before they have grown attached to you, they will not prove submissive, and unless submissive, then they will be practically useless. If, when the soldiers have become attached to you, punishments are not enforced, they will still be useless. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Sweat more during peace, bleed less during war. All wars are won or lost before they are ever fought. If your enemy is secure at all points, be prepared for him. If he is in superior strength, evade him. If your opponent is temperamental, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. If he is taking his ease, give him no rest. If his forces are united, separate them. If sovereign and subject are in accord, put a division between them. Attack him where he is unprepared. Appear where you are not expected. Concentrate your energy and hoard your strength. If the enemy knows not where he will be attacked, he must prepare in every quarter, and so be everywhere weak. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. If he is secure at all points, be prepared for him. If he is superior in strength, evade him. So in war, the way is to avoid what is strong and strike at what is weak. If there is a disturbance in the camp, the general's authority is weak. There are 5 dangerous faults which may affect a general. 1. Recklessness, which leads to destruction. 2. Cowardice, which leads to capture. 3. A hasty temper, which can be provoked by insults. 4. A delicacy of honor, which is sensitive to shame. 5. Over-solicitude for his men, which exposes him to worry and trouble. It is only the enlightened ruler and the wise general who will use the highest intelligence of the army for the purposes of spying, and thereby they achieve great results. Hence that general is skillful in attack whose opponent does not know what to defend, and he is skillful in defense whose opponent does not know what to attack. If words of command are not clear and distinct, if orders are not thoroughly understood, then the general is to blame. But if orders are clear and the soldiers nevertheless disobey, then it is the fault of their officers. The skillful employer of men will employ the wise man, the brave man, the covetous man, and the stupid man. The general who wins the battle makes many calculations in his temple before the battle is fought. The general who loses makes but few calculations beforehand. The general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign, is the jewel of the kingdom. A wise general makes a point of foraging of the enemy. Leadership is a matter of intelligence, trustworthiness, humaneness, courage, and sternness. The art of giving orders is not to try to rectify the minor blunders and not be swayed by petty doubts. Thus we may know that there are 5 essentials for victory. 1. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. 2. He will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. 3. He will win whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all its ranks. 4. He will win who prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared. 5. He will win who has military capacity and is not interfered with by the sovereign. The line between disorder and order lies in logistics. Thus it is that in war the victorious strategist only seeks battle after the victory has been won, whereas he who is destined to defeat first fights and afterward looks for victory. Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. Water shapes its course according to the nature of the ground over which it flows. The soldier works out his victory in relation to the foe whom he is facing. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. The victorious army is victorious first and seeks battle later. The defeated army seeks battle first and seeks victory later. Supreme importance in war is to attack the enemy's strategy. The peak efficiency of knowledge and strategy is to make conflict unnecessary. All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when we are able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must appear inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. Energy may be likened to the bending of a crossbow, decision to the releasing of a trigger. Ponder and deliberate before you make a move. Begin by seizing something which your opponent holds dear. Then he will be amenable to your will. Move not unless you see an advantage. Use not your troops unless there is something to be gained. Fight not unless the position is critical. Be extremely subtle, even to the point of formlessness. Be extremely mysterious, even to the point of soundlessness. Thereby you can be the director of the opponent's fate. When you surround an army, leave an outlet free. Do not press a desperate foe too hard. The skillful tactician may be likened to the shuaijian. Now the shuaijian is a snake that is found in the Chang Mountains. Strike at its head, and you will be attacked by its tail. Strike at its tail, and you will be attacked by its head. Strike at its middle, and you will be attacked by head and tail both. The quality of decision is like the well-timed swoop of a falcon which enables it to strike and destroy its victim. Attack is the secret of defense. Defense is the planning of an attack. You have to believe in yourself. There are roads which must not be followed, armies which must not be attacked, towns which must not be besieged, positions which must not be contested, commands of the sovereign which must not be obeyed. Never venture, never win. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. The opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. To secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. Victory comes from finding opportunities in problems. Unhappy is the fate of one who tries to win his battles and succeed in his attacks without cultivating the spirit of enterprise, for the result is waste of time and general stagnation. What the ancients called a clever fighter is one who not only wins but excels in winning with ease. For to win 100 victories in 100 battles is not the acme of skill. To subdue the enemy without fighting is the acme of skill. Those who win every battle are not really skillful. Those who render others' armies helpless without fighting are the best of all. He wins his battles by making no mistakes. Engage people with what they expect. It is what they are able to discern and confirms their projections. It settles them into predictable patterns of response, occupying their minds while you wait for the extraordinary moment, that which they cannot anticipate. Bravery without forethought causes a man to fight blindly and desperately like a mad bull. Such an opponent must not be encountered with brute force, but may be lured into an ambush and slain. In battle, there are not more than two methods of attack, the direct and the indirect. Yet these two in combination give rise to an endless series of maneuvers. Hence the saying, if you know the enemy and you know yourself, your victory will not stand in doubt. If you know heaven and you know earth, you may make your victory complete. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. When the enemy is relaxed, make them toil. When full, starve them. When settled, make them move. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. Those skilled in warfare move the enemy and are not moved by the enemy. Hold out baits to entice the enemy. Feign disorder and crush him. Be where your enemy is not. He who is prudent and lies in wait for an enemy who is not will be victorious. It is easy to love your friend, but sometimes the hardest lesson to learn is to love your enemy. Do not swallow bait offered by the enemy. Do not interfere with an army that is returning home. Do not engage an enemy more powerful than you. And if it is unavoidable, and you do have to engage, then make sure you engage it on your terms, not on your enemy's terms. For them to perceive the advantage of defeating the enemy, they must also have their rewards. It is more important to outthink your enemy than to outfight him. Do not press an enemy at bay. Those skilled at making the enemy move do so by creating a situation to which he must conform. They entice him with something he is certain to take, and with lures of ostensible profit, they await him in strength. Convince your enemy that he will gain very little by attacking you. This will diminish his enthusiasm. When your opponent gives you an opening, be swift as a hare. The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so that he cannot fathom our real intent. If ignorant both of your enemy and yourself, you are certain to be in peril. Keep your friends close, your enemies even closer.